Hi, everybody. My name is Jaden.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
We got the Yahushua and the Torah YouTube channel.
Oh, man. We're going to make this one. I think I'm going to leave this one going, guys. What's going on, Eli? What's wrong with you, man? Jaden cracked a joke right before this. And
I think you cracked the joke.
Well, you laughed
I just
at
shook
it.
my head. No.
All right, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It is the Yahushua and the Torah YouTube channel. It is Yahushua and the Torah Odyssey and Rumble, and we thank you guys very, very much for being part of our family. We do appreciate you guys. We do love you a lot, and we have found so many amazing people that are part of our creators' people, and that's you guys. And so thank you very, very much for being all part of us. And it is a preparation day, everybody. Yay! Which means tomorrow's a Shabbat. Yay! All right, that's it. Those are those great drummers. South American drummers, and we are still alive down here, which is a good thing. Our dogs are still alive down here. We know of all our friends that you guys are out there. Nobody is gone this week, so this is a great week that we can have, and our Creator has given us a set of books, a set of guidelines, a set of principles, a way forward, and it is literally, the Torah means the way forward. And the Torah, for those who do not know, Caden, is what?
It is the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy.
First 5 books of the Bible. So if you guys are looking to find the Torah, all you guys got to do is grab any Bible anywhere out there and grab that and start reading this love letter that our Creator has given and preserved throughout many, 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 many generations, so that you are able to pick that book up and you are able to read it. Now, if you would like to download the Torah absolutely free, it's right here. The links are in the bottom. It is called Yah Scriptures. It is a 66-book version. And right below that is an extracurricular reading book called the Apocrypha that has 37 other books. Now, those are absolutely free. They will work on every single computer device available to man right now. And you can put them on anything. Now, if you would like to get a hard copy book of this, which is called it's called a PU leather. It's a fake leather, but it's a very nice front cover. This book has 3 bookmarks. It has 103 books. It is large font, large print. It is 14.5. You'll be able to see it. Hopefully your grandparents will be able to see it. Hopefully people with vision problems are able to see this, because this is the whole point that we wanted to put a book out there like this, because the world has seen all of these scriptures that are very tiny print that nobody can see. I've used magnifying glasses before trying to read scriptures, and it is really hard to find these scriptures that is going to make the test of time, and this one will actually do that. So guys, there are like around 900 that are left. There will be a total of 1,000 that will be ordered, and we don't know if there'll be another 1,000 ordered. We do know that the first one is on its way, and so this is the time to make it happen. Now, gentlemen, we are in chapter 8 of Joshua. For anybody who would like to give us a quick recap of what is going on right now and what's happening.
So Joshua and all the children of Israel, they went around Jericho. They brought the walls down. They obeyed Yahuwah. And then after they put it on the bench, made jumps to take anything, just to burn it all, destroy it. One of the guys in Akon, he took some gold, some silver, like a robe of some special robe.
Special robe. What was that? What was the robe from? Was it from Shechem?
Shinar.
Shinar. Yeah, there was a special robe.
And he took it and hid it in his tent. And Israel went to a new place to go conquer it. They only sent 3,000 to conquer because it's a small place. They didn't want to send very many.
What town is it? The town of Ai.
Okay, yeah, Ai.
Ai. Yeah.
And they got beat by smaller people than them, and Joshua asked Yahuwah, he's like, why do you even send us out of here? He started sounding like the old generation before, when they're like, why did we get taken out of Egypt just to die?
Why did we stay on the side of the Jordan? Why didn't we just do this?
And then Yahuwah told me that someone in the camp has sinned. Someone has done what I told you not to do. And so they went and filtered him out, and they found him, and they stoned him and burned him.
Stoned him, and who else?
And his family, his animals, everything he had.
Did the oxen deserve this?
No.
Was the oxen involved in this?
No.
But somehow the oxen died?
Somehow he died, yes.
Okay, well, there we go. This is the town of Ai. All right, Eli, do you have anything else to add to this?
No.
Really? Nothing?
No.
At all?
No.
Nothing. Do you have a joke?
No.
You don't even have a joke?
No.
From back in the day? Anyone have a joke?
Nothing off the top of my head.
Wow, that's terrible. We are definitely not comedians. Here we go. Chapter 8, verse 1. And Yahuwah said to YAHOSHUA, do not be afraid, nor be discouraged. Take all the soldiers with you, and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given into your hand the sovereign of Ai, and his people, and his city, and his land. So you shall do to Ai and his sovereign as you did to Jericho and its sovereign. Only its spoil and livestock you take as plunder for yourselves. Lay for yourselves ambush for the city behind it. All right, so we have some different instructions here from what we did in the very first one.
It's basically a game plan or like a war plan. How to take these guys.
Right, but what's different? What's different on this whole thing? He says something different that he did not say on the first killing.
Not everything is put under the ban, basically.
You can take livestock and other stuff.
This time they get the spoil and livestock. They get to take it as plunder.
Whatever reason, maybe other stuff was like defiled or it was like unclean, so I don't want them to have it. But this stuff is different.
Or it was a test. It was a test from the Almighty to see who would do what. Okay, we don't know. Here we go. 3. And Yahushua and all the soldiers rose up to go up to Ai. And Yahushua chose 30,000 mighty brave men and sent them away by night and commanded them, saying, See, you are going to lie in ambush against the city. Behind the city, do not go very far from the city, but all of you shall be prepared.
All right, how are you sneaking up 30,000 people?
Very quietly, line by line. I'm sure it wasn't with loud things. I'm sure the people are as quiet as possible.
Somebody's got to notice these people coming.
Maybe we will. They might be a long ways away. I mean, I think they're a long ways away. This ambush.
Yeah, no, I think they are.
So here we go. 5. While I and all the people who are with me, but actually, let me go back up to 4.5. But all of you shall be prepared, while I and all the people who are with me approach the city. And it shall be, when they come out against us, as formerly, that we shall flee before them. And they shall come out after us, till we have drawn them from the city, as though saying, They are fleeing before us as formerly. And we shall flee before them. Then you shall rise from the ambush and seize the city, and Yahuwah your Elohim shall give it into your hand. And it shall be, when you capture the city, that you burn the city with fire. Do according to the word of Yahuwah. See, I have commanded you. And Yahushua sent them out, and they went to lie in ambush, and stayed between Beth El and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Yahushua stayed that night in the midst of the people. And Yahushua rode us up early in the morning and inspected the people, and went up, he and the elders of Yisrael, before the people of Ai. What do you think he's inspecting them for? What was he doing? Like a commander-in-chief looking to make sure they're armed well, making sure there's no slackers, tighten up your shirt, be ready for battle, that kind of stuff. Is that what we're thinking?
Probably make sure everyone was ready.
It's interesting, though, that Yahushua, being the man, stood in the middle of these people in the night, right? Because
he was Moses' general when he was there. He was the one who led all the battles, so probably would be weird if he stepped out of the battle and didn't lead them.
Yeah, it probably would be. Okay, 11. I think, right?
Yes.
And all the soldiers who were with him went up and drew near, and came before the city, and camped on the north side of Ai, with the valley between them and Ai. Okay, so that's how it happened, Kate. There's a valley between them, right? So this isn't like at the front doorsteps of the city of Ai. This is it's a ways away. Okay. And he took about 5,000 men and placed them in ambush between Bet El and Ai on the west side of the city. So they stationed the people, all the army that was on the north of the city, and its rear guard on the west of the city. And Yahushua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to be, when the sovereign of Ai saw it, that the men of the city hastened and rose up early and went out against Yisrael to battle, he and all his people, and an appointed place before the desert plain. But he did not know that there was an ambush against him behind the city. And Yahushua and all Yisrael let themselves be beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people who were in Ai were called together to pursue them, and they pursued Yahushua and were drawn away from the city. So there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel who did not go out after Yisrael, and they left the city open and pursued Yisrael. And Yahuwah said to Yahushua, Stretch out the spear that is in your hand toward Ai, for I give it into your hand. And Yahushua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city, and the ambush rose up quickly from their place, and they ran at the stretching out of his hand, and entered the city and took it, and hastened to burn the city with fire. Now, what do you guys think when Yah told him to stretch out his hand?
I mean, it's like Moses, when Moses reached out his hand and stuff, and people get destroyed. I mean, that's
also the signal too for the people to join the ambush or something, because they all went as soon as he stretched out his hand. So there must be something pre-planned about that.
Yeah, well, he stretched out his hand, and he's not bringing it back down. It's just left here, up in the air.
Yeah, so it's like Moses when he was in the battle and every time he put his hands down, everyone started getting beat, but when he put his hands up, they started winning.
So there you go. And did Yah tell him that he had to keep his hand extended, or did he just know? Or
he probably knew it, because after 40 years of Moses, they went through a lot of wars. This might have happened a few times, so he knows how to win wars at this point.
Yeah. All right. Am I at 20?
Yikes, I think so.
You think so? That's not confident. Okay. And the men of Ai looked behind them and saw the smoke of the city rising to the Shamaim, and there was no power in them to flee this way or that way. For the people who had fled to the wilderness, turned back on the pursuers. For when Yahushua and all Yisrael saw that the ambush had captured the city, and that the smoke of the city went up, they turned back and smote the men of Ai. The others also came out of the city against them. So they were in the midst of Yisrael, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them until none were left, and none had escaped. But the sovereign of Ai they caught alive, and brought him to Yahushua. And it came to be when Yahushua ended slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness where they had pursued them, and when they had fallen by the edge of the sword until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned to Ai, and smote it with the edge of the sword. And it came to be that all who fell that day, both men and women, were 12,000, all men of Ai.
So it's not too big of a city, 12,000.
12,000 men, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, that was a small town.
Yeah, but I mean that just took out the entire town. That's a lot of people. I mean, it may not sound like a lot, but when you're starting to deal with 12,000 bodies, it's a lot of people. You're gonna
they have to burn those or something. There's a lot.
Something is going to be happening here. They need some birds of the Shamaim to help on this one. All right, now where are we at?
26.
26. Thank you. And Yahushua did not draw back his hand, with which he stretched out the spear, until he had put all the inhabitants of Ai under the ban. Only the livestock and the spoil of that city Israel took as booty for themselves, according to the word of Yahuwah, which he had commanded Yahushua. And Yahushua burned Ai, and made it a heap forever, a ruin to this day.
It definitely need to be burned.
Yeah, it's going to be smelling like Mitzrayim here soon enough. 29. And he hanged the sovereign of Ai on a tree until evening. And at sunset, Yahushua commanded that they should take his corpse down from the tree, and throw it at the entrance of the gate of the city, and raise over it a great heap of stones to this day.
So now, you see he obeyed Torah here?
Yeah, he obeyed Torah, but I'm going to be the first one to probably say that dude probably smelled real bad. I mean, you can throw these things. We've tried throwing things under stones before, and it doesn't matter. I mean, we've buried a tremendous amount of things out here, and they start reeking. So homeboy is going to be smelling real foul under this pile of stones. They're going to smell this dude solidly for a solid week.
I don't think they're sticking around here. I think they're moving on to the next place to conquer,
probably.
So they won't have to smell them for a while.
Yeah, probably somebody's going to want to take a clingy crew into this one. Okay,
30.
There we go. And Yahushua built an altar to Yahuwah, Elohim of Yisrael, in Mount Ebal, as Moshe, the servant of Yahuwah, had commanded the children of Yisrael, as is written in the book of the Torah of Moshe, an altar of unhewn stones over which no man has wielded iron. And they offered on it a burnt offering to Yahuwah, and slaughtered peace offerings. And there, in the presence of the children of Yisrael, he wrote on the stones a copy of the Torah of Moshe, which he had written. Okay, let's talk about this, because there's a lot of times these kings write the Torah. Now, this family, we just got done retyping the entire Torah. Is it possible that that our homeboy Joshua right here wrote a copy of the entire Torah on some stones? And is their Torah the same as our Torah?
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
their Torah have all of the stories of Moshe and all of the extracurricular stuff? Or is it just like our commandments of don't drink blood, don't look at your children naked? Is he writing the entire history out on these stones? And if he did this, we would be here many months. Many months.
Yeah, maybe.
What are we writing here?
I mean, I feel like it would be the laws, but there also is a lot of the stories as well. But the important stuff is the laws to write down. So,
right.
I bet probably in David's day when they were kings, they were probably writing everything. I think the whole story.
They write everything from the beginning. In the beginning, Elohim created the Shamayim.
I think they should. I think they should, so they understand the history as well.
They probably should, but did they? We just got done as an entire family with a computer that is able to do this inside of it's a little over a year with 4 or 5 of us at this. So we're talking one dude. If he was writing all of this, I don't think this is possible. right? I think it was probably all the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Then it might have been easier, Paleo Hebrew, less words and more like pictures stuff, just a few little pictures.
Have you seen our Torah scroll that we have in our room?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's like
big altar.
But that's not
huge.
That's not Paleo Hebrew.
It's not Paleo Hebrew either, but it's still a lot of writing. I don't know. We don't have the answer to it. I'm just throwing this stuff out there. All right, what verse are we on?
We are on
Oh man,
30.
beer just went in my tea. Hit it.
All right, we're on 33.
All right, and all Yisrael, the sojourner, as well as a native, with their elders and officers and judges, stood on either side of the ark before the Kohanim, the Levites, who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah. Half of them were in front of Mount Gerizim, and half of them were in front of Mount Ebal, as Moshe, the servant of Yahuwah, had commanded before, that they should barak the people of Yisrael. So there's a big piece in this one verse right here. There's something about people don't get that when the group of people left Mitzrayim, they ended up with 600,000, nearly 1 million slaves. People that were sojourners, people that were outside of Yisrael, people that were not blood-born Yisraelites. You do not have to be a blood-born Jew to be part of Yah's kingdom. All you have to do is obey the laws, statutes, and commandments, and you go from sojourner to native. You go from lawbreaker to lawkeeper. You go from out of covenant to in covenant. That is the point of all of this, is that the sojourners, all of you guys out there who are listening to this stuff, you guys are all part of Yah's kingdom. You do not have to be some Jew in some place called Israel to ever make this happen. It's never, ever been called like this. And right here in this verse, it talks about all of Yisrael, the sojourner, which are people outside of Israel, as well as the native, right? They all got in on this. So those are things to consider that we need to understand, that it is not a blood thing. It is not a generational thing. This is a will you obey our Creator? Will you do what He says? Will you fall on your knees to a greater power than what we are? And we are nothing in comparison to our Creator, who has created everything. And so many people have taken the alternate path, and they bow their knee to Hasatan, and it makes their life very easy. Hasatan provides a lot on this earth, but it's at the expense of your soul, and you will never get this back. You will never, ever have another chance to fight for your soul, which is what we are all trying to do right now. We need to be fighting for our soul, and if we're just living a conventional life, smelling like the world, looking like the world, tasting like the world, that's not protecting our soul. Now, final words here on this, 34, right?
Yep.
And afterward, he read all the words of the Torah, the Barakah, and the cursings, according to all that is written in the book of the Torah.
So this is all the words, so
Maybe this dude is maybe Paleo Hebrew or something. We can get this much quicker than.
maybe they just had enough time, they didn't have to go anywhere. They just sat down and wrote it.
Or maybe he sat down and he had like 50 scribes, and that was the thing. Maybe he was sitting there going behind each one. I don't know. I don't know how this went down. I don't know if it was the exact. It would be a miracle if one person was able to jot this down in under a year.
And if he had to write it, that means he would have to know how to read and write.
What, Mystical, what do you got?
Maybe Yah gave him that ability.
Maybe Yah gave him a word processor,
The messengers to help him write.
Microsoft Word Perfect. Or it's not even Microsoft Word Perfect. It was just Word Perfect. Maybe he had that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting real old, outdating myself right here. Okay, let us 35. There was not a word of all that Moshe had commanded which YAHOSHUA did not read before all the assembly of Yisrael. Okay, maybe he did. With the women and the little ones and the sojourners who accompanied them, right? There's one law for the native and there's one law for the sojourner. It's all the same law. We all have the exact same Torah if we're willing to follow it. So, gentlemen, what final words do we have on this? Anyone?
You can be Israel too. You can be part of this tribe here that it controls the land. That
absolutely
becomes in charge of everything.
Yeah,
Yah's children, and if you don't follow laws, there's only one other person against Yah, and that's Hasatan.
Yeah, by default, your daddy is Hasatan if you don't want to follow the words of our Creator. That doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. It just means that you are not following the Creator of the universe, and that's what we're trying to figure out. So we're trying to figure out our path back home. We're trying to figure out our path back to our Creator. So with that, everybody, we hope that you have a wonderful prep day, and we are out.
All right, shalom.